Just spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Game of Thrones.
And Game of Thrones.
We also discussed
and
Dune briefly,
Echo.
but no Yo, thanks for spoiling Echo for me.
We're in danger, America.
Yeah, that's it. That's the promo.
That's our catchphrase.
It's funny because it's always true.
Well, I'm Fuzzy Villain.
I'm Matt, just Matt.
Not Matt Shea. No, wait, you are Matt Shea.
I am Matt Shea. Yes, that's my last name.
Not unlike the guy.
Thank you for doxing me.
Sorry. I say we're going to cut out a lot of things, and we don't. And it's not because of us. It's because of our editor, Greg. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Oh, yeah, he wants to have an organic process.
Greg's an idiot. Sorry, Greg. This is Democracy Interrupted, where we cover the news of the week and just random stuff that we want to talk about, because talking is cathartic.
Yeah, whatever's on our ADD brains. So let's... Oh, do you not have that?
Yeah, I guess. No, for sure.
I don't want to diagnose you.
Do you think I have ADD? ADHD?
I mean, I didn't say age. You're bringing the age to me.
Okay, well.
In any case, our first story.
Our first story is what?
The bathroom bill?
The bathroom bill. Transgender people cannot use the bathroom of this of the sexual identity. What is it? Of the gender identity they associate with.
Specifically, one transgender woman, Sarah McBride, cannot use the congressional bathroom because she is the first federal Congress person who is trans.
This was what I was looking most forward to when I found out that there was actually a transgender person in Congress.
To see how she was discriminated against?
No. I was like, yeah, let's just let Nancy Mace deal with how she has to deal with them in the bathrooms. And unfortunately, it did not work out in Sarah McBride's favor.
Right. So, I mean, it's, there's a lot of stuff going on in our lives and country, but this is where the conservatives want to focus.
This is the most important issue today.
Right.
I don't want Matt to undersell this. Where Sarah McBride takes a Duke is top priority of our Congress.
Listen, I can't speak for women's bathrooms, but, those men's bathrooms are stank.
Sarah McBride was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not here about bathrooms. I'm here about, passing legislation, which is, I think, the right take to have.
Be above it.
Be above it. Just when you go into the bathroom, make sure you make a bunch of hubbub. Every single time you go into a dude's bathroom, just own the heck out of the bathroom. That's what I'm saying, dude. Do that. That's the act of protest. Eventually, we'll get more transgender people in Congress, and then they'll start realizing once we start getting transgender men who have to go into the women's bathroom, they'll realize the error of their ways pretty soon. That's how I feel, at least. So.
Yeah, I just think it's stupid discrimination for no reason, just to hurt people.
Is.
That's the only legislation they can get together to do is, hurt people. But this just hurting one person is, specifically so dumb, I feel. Come on. What are we doing here?
It's pretty terrible. It just doesn't seem like it's worth anybody's time.
No.
But, there's plenty of other things that happened also.
Right. Speaking of Congress not having it together, Trump invited a lot of senators to go see rockets launch, like Marco Rubio and stuff. And by extending that invitation, they were not in the Senate to stop judges from getting confirmed, because that's most of what they do. So Biden was able to ram through a bunch of judges, which is good, because they've been having trouble doing that. So already, Trump's just displaying his key leadership skills.
I did enjoy watching his rocket blow up at the end, even though I shouldn't have. I'm like, oh, that's billions of dollars wasted. And, it's also bad for the fish.
Is it?
Exploding rocket in the ocean? Yeah, I would
think fish
so.
Not like rocket fuel?
I don't think they'd like
Is this like a new study?
There was a giant explosion at the end of that. It was a very hefty explosion.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of rewarding to see, hey, come check out how awesome my rocket works. Okay, so it only works half as awesome as I said it did. That was very cathartic for me, but, there's this term that's being floated around, and it's FAFO, which is fuck around and find out. And I think both the Democrats and the Republicans are co-opting this term. The Republicans were trying to co-opt it in response to the 4B movement.
Right.
And it was like...
Which I'm sure has gotten them laid a lot since then.
Yeah, the Democrats are just like, okay, there's a certain section of Democrats who are just like, you know what, okay, forget it. Trump wants this guy, just pass it. Let him have all the whatever. Y'all see what will happen.
Maybe.
It's
I mean, I feel like Democrats should understand that like this is not like fun social club, that this is like a fight in the night in the mud with a knife, and they need to kind of come at it with that attitude. So them passing judges and stuff, taking advantage of that, I like. Letting Trump pushes. I mean, we don't know if he's pushing the confirmations through or not. We know there's one confirmation that he's not pushing through as of today.
You talking about Matt Gaetz?
Yeah, I'm talking about Matt Gaetz. I'm talking about Gates.
Gates.
Or Gate, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gate.
Gate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gate.
We found someone too slimy for even the Trump administration to deal with.
I said this, I think, last week or the week before. He wasn't going to make it past. He wasn't going to. I think you might have agreed.
I do. It is kind of the same thing as the bathroom bill, where it's like, look over here so you don't see what this hand is doing. Because a lot of these confirmations are horrible. But everyone's so focused on Matt Gaetz being a sexual predator, rightfully so, and just having overwhelming evidence of it.
I heard that the reason that it didn't get passed is because they realized that, which is this is so funny, that there was a second interaction between him and the 17-year-old.
I mean, there's
involved
this
her
huge
friend.
Venmo web of like possible sex trafficking stuff that like it's old news, but they're kind of just reminding us in drips and drabs of like, no, remember, even though his case wasn't brought forward, this was really bad. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, that's really bad. Meanwhile, you know, RFK is still sailing through, you know, and Pete Hegseth is now like under the spotlight, I guess, because of some sexual assault allegations, which is good. Probably, I mean, it's not good that it happened. It's good that we can bring attention to it now that Matt Gaetz is out of the picture.
Yeah, so away from one pedophile onto another sexual predator.
I mean, he's really like, it's a sexual predator cabinet, you know?
I mean, it's got a lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to like Matt Gaetz.
Oh, where she was threatening to unleash like all of the
She was
ethics
like,
complaints.
I'll tell everybody. I don't
Do
care
it.
if you're Republican or Democrat. I will tell everybody who's
I
sexually
hated that I
harassing
was
everyone.
I hated that I was agreeing with her, but I'm like, I agree with you 100%. I don't care left, right.
Does that make
whoever.
you a good
Release.
person or a bad person to keep that information under wraps? And I would posit the notion, probably not great.
I think if you're saying a good thing is like a threat, it's not great.
Yeah. If you don't turn this car around. If
If you do not shut up, you're not getting any ice cream. You understand? Kind of like that.
Yeah, but in a weird sort of way, it's kind of like, if you don't shut up, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's the reverse kind of thing.
It's I don't know. It was weird, but I feel like the Republicans, some Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump, like really kind of screwed the pooch for themselves in just being so gung ho
I'm
about
not
Matt Gaetz.
Sure how much they like her, because like the news today is that they're trying to shunt her off to the fake Department of Government Efficiency with Vivek and Elon.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, we're actually tired of her in Congress. Can you just put her in this fake department with these fake people to do fake work?
I don't know. That could be worse or better. I have no idea at this point. Everything is so up in the air and so up for grabs. What other appointments did he make? Linda McMahon,
Oh yeah,
the
Vince
Department,
McMahon's
the Department of
wife.
Education. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but I actually found this out fairly recently when I was watching the McMahon documentary on Netflix. It was
It
like,
is wild.
did you see that?
No,
Okay.
I know the facts. I went into a deep dive about this because I was never into wrestling. Don't let my aesthetic fool you or my white suburban roots. I never liked wrestling.
I'm way more interested in wrestling as a show production culture.
Yeah, as the business side of it. Yeah,
it's so much more interesting to me. And one of those things that like came out of that was that, you know, Trump and McMahon are really good friends. Again, another sexual predator that he's really good friends with.
and really, yeah. I mean, I feel like his whole administration is just gonna be like Alien versus Predator is the theme, maybe.
But last time Trump was president, Linda McMahon had a job.
Oh yeah.
she actually has done government work before in the sense that I think she was the Department of like Small Business Affairs or something
Sure.
like that.
I forget what it was. I'll take
Yeah,
your
I'm
word
pretty
for
sure it
it.
was like small business, which made more sense then because
But it's not like
she was in charge of a small
it's not like
business, quote
WWE
unquote.
is a small business.
Right, but it started as a small business.
Right.
So it makes more sense there as opposed to education, the Department of Education funding that, and like I don't go to wrestling people for education typically. It's funny, like a week ago they were like, who's gonna be the head of the Department of Education? And they just touted a bunch of like state superintendents
Right.
and like qualified people who deal in that space. And then, boom, it's Linda McMahon because, they're friends.
I mean, I assume that she's going to tear it down as like they've threatened to do several times. I don't think her actual opinions matter. I don't think she has real ethics or like philosophies. Just judging from the world she came from and continues to stay in.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like the greatest idea in the world, but
None
like
of
I
this
said,
does.
just Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene, to backtrack for a second, do they suffer from the fact that they supported Matt Gaetz so much? Like,
No.
are they gonna? Or is their opinion gonna be taken even less seriously moving forward? I mean, I doubt Trump's will, but
I mean, like they have a whole social media ecosystem and media apparatus around them. Um, like they're not going to suffer unless the people running this stuff want them to. Basically, like think of all the heinous stuff they've said. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that there were Jewish space lasers coming to attack us.
yeah, and you're right, nothing
Nothing.
doing. She's still
Nothing.
there. Oy, oy, oy.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Democrats got to like play dirty and just be like, "This woman is stupid." Just like come out and say it. Like, what are they afraid of?
Yeah, I've heard that notion that the Democrats just need to start cutting corners and shoving things down because the Republicans don't care about the rules because there's loopholes, and you know you can find a loophole to get what you need to get done, but the Democrats typically don't subscribe to the idea of loopholes because they're trying to seem like the more just party.
Right. I mean, most people aren't like old enough to remember it in the country at this point, but like FDR celebrated this like great president and stuff. He did this stuff all the time. He would play games with people. He would lie. He would like cut messed up deals to get what he wanted to do. He threatened people like that. And how do we remember him? As this like nice old man that really helped us out of the depression and stuff. Why did we lose that? Why are we playing nice? Like what are the real stakes if they're like, I hate this person, and then they're eating together in the congressional cafeteria afterwards? We can get back to that kind of deal making that like Trump pretends to be like, a great deal maker and stuff. Like Democrats can play dirty. They can do stuff for the people that vote for them. It might drive more people out to vote for them. I know it's a crazy notion.
Honestly, the Republicans, they really have a good foothold this time around.
I mean, they barely have the House and the Senate. Like, this is worse than their 2017 numbers coming into next year.
But did he had all three?
He did have all three in 2017 for his first term for 2 years.
So he just didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yes.
Back then.
Well,
but now he supposedly does. Dr. Oz! Dr. Oz!
Oh, God, yeah.
It's great.
Who will be reporting to RFK. Is
And,
how that hierarchy works.
and this is the same Dr. Oz that was just like getting paid by like different brands and stuff to say, oh, this works. This is like real medicine.
Dr. Oz ran for Senate in Pennsylvania and doesn't even live there. And that's his only political experience, is that failed campaign.
Yeah, because he didn't make it.
Right.
I remember everybody was celebrating back then. Oh, we're not stupid enough to elect somebody like this. But he got appointed. But he got appointed. I don't know.
I mean, when you're running to represent the state and you don't live there, you're not making like a great case just right off the bat, I feel.
Did you have to like move there or something? I thought you had to live in the state that you were running in for like a minimum of 2 years or something.
It depends on the state.
La-di-da. Fine. That's where I stand. If we're talking about appointees, Dr. Oz, F. Matt Gaetz leaving, A+.
A+. But I mean, who's going to be a justice? Like, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible no matter what.
It is. Who else? Linda McMahon. I'm going to give her a D. D+.
I'm going to give her a W.
because I mean, she'd been there before. She'd been to the government before.
Right.
Picking non-educators probably. I mean, it's less ridiculous than giving Dr. Oz a position.
True.
So
She's like qualified.
yeah, I mean, she at least has some experience heading up a department.
Right.
So that's got to count for
Hopefully they
something.
can get someone better into defense too. Like that's the thing. We're all speculating on his on who he's going to appoint to these cabinet positions, but none of these people have these jobs yet. I feel like it's still just like smoke and mirrors. Like everyone wants to start the Trump show, but this is just like we're watching the trailers. George Carlin is lucky to be dead. He would hate this stuff.
He wouldn't care, honestly.
He would care. He hated it back in the 70s, and it wasn't even this bad.
He hated them all. He hated Republicans and Democrats. It's
I
literally
think
just capitalism versus everything.
The quote that you're looking for is "It's a big club and you ain't in it."
That might be the quote.
We did think that Russia launched an ICBM at Ukraine, and it wasn't that.
What was it?
It's some experimental medium range missile.
So that's better, I guess.
Sort of. So like we've never used an ICBM in armed conflict before. Not us, the U.S., like anyone.
Right.
So we thought it was like a first for the world. And that's scary because all you can know is kind of the type of missile that's coming. You don't know what the warhead contains. So like if you see an ICBM coming, you're like, is that a nuke?
Right.
But it wasn't that. And they did, because like you were saying, it's all like a big game. You know, they warned us. They're like, we're gonna launch this crazy missile. You better evacuate your embassy. And we're like, all right. And that's what happened. Because that's how we do war now, like respectfully, I guess.
I mean, haven't we always done war respectfully? Everyone stand in a line and shoot until you fall.
It's like turn-based, yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know that the people are not the governments.
Right.
Because the people would be like, that's a terrible idea.
Why would you tell them that we're launching a missile?
Why would we all stand in a line and just shoot straight up? Why wouldn't we hide behind rocks?
Well, this is what Iran has done so many times this year. They're like, we're going to get you, Israel. We're going to get you. Hello, Israel? Hey, we're about to get you. You know, heads up.
Yeah.
I mean, because we even knew that they were going to invade Ukraine for like a week before. It's like, they're all getting up on that border.
Yeah.
They're only doing one thing.
Everybody's got videos of thousands of tanks
Right.
lining up. It's like, what do you think they're gonna do? I don't know.
There's only really one thing they could do.
They're like, yeah, we're about to go in.
I miss the intrigue.
The
You know?
intrigue of war.
Yeah, like, oh wow, war? Like as a surprise.
War. Yeah, I guess let's bring back intrigue and war. That's a great idea. Let's completely
Well, imagine you just woke up tomorrow and you're like, we're at war with Germany? What?
that would be crazy.
Right, that would be actually insane.
That actually could motivate someone to just join war because, like, you wouldn't even have time to think about what's happening. You wouldn't have time.
That is what happened in World War II. It's like, all right, boys, we're going over to Europe. And they're like, what are we doing in Europe?
Well, they hit Hawaii, which isn't a state, but, you know, we got some people over there. We definitely got businesses. Let's go
Boys,
ahead.
you know the rules. They messed with our boats, so now we're going to a different part of the world to get them back.
I've been to Hawaii once.
Have you?
It's incredibly sad.
Post Pearl Harbor?
It's beautiful. No, pre. I don't want to do world politics. It's my fault for even hopping in on that. Do you got any predictions for what's coming in the next week?
And the next week, the week of Thanksgiving? Possibly stuff in Ukraine.
Almost definitely stuff in Ukraine.
But I mean, like,
My guess.
the war is not ending. I think, like, Joe Biden's just trying to give them negotiation leverage so they can wrap it up by January.
And Biden is doing this. This might be a grave mistake from the Biden administration. I'm pretty sure, actually, that this is a bipartisan move between Biden and Trump that they have spoke on in the last couple of weeks because Trump hasn't actually come out and said anything against it. This is just, you know, Fox News trying to get ahead of it and shift the blame towards Biden. But really, it's like you said, I think this is just a negotiation tactic to help end the war, and something that Biden and Trump both agreed on. I think we'll find that out later when, you know, Trump claims victory. You're trying to get rid of the federal regulations on what you can teach because they're so anti-DEI. And, you know, you got states like Florida dropping all of these like Christian sponsored
Yeah, that's what I think.
educational
The problem is
materials.
twofold, in that you get rid of the federal regulation so that you can move all this Christian crap into schools.
I'm not saying it's crap. I don't think Christian stuff is crap. Matt said
Right.
that. He said that, not me.
I
Don't
mean,
come after me.
if you want to learn about theology, it should not be in a public school, in my opinion. That's
Yeah,
really what I mean.
I do believe there should be a separation of church and state. Really,
Yeah,
whatever you
have
want.
that
Though.
in
This
common
is
with the
America.
people that
Do what
made
you
the
want,
country.
America. Do what you want, America. Live. Live.
I don't think kids are going to come out smarter by getting rid of federal standards.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think
Right.
possibly you're just going to see a separation in that line where you have those states that have the lowest test scores. They're going to get lower. I think it is possible that states with higher test scores actually get higher.
But I mean, like, people with means are always going to use those means. Like, I care about the people, the kids in the poor areas that have to work, and they're only going to escape their situation if they're taught how to escape it.
Yeah, I mean, which kids are you talking about? We're going to let kids work, though. Mark my words.
Kids have been working since COVID. Like,
I know, but I mean, I'm
they
saying
keep
like,
getting busted. Like, oh, I don't know how that 12-year-old works at McDonald's. Jeez.
we're going to deregulate that, though. I have a very strong feeling that's what's going to happen. Not that I support that, but I do think a deregulation on child labor is coming, which is craziness.
Well, when they boot out all the immigrants, who's going to take the jobs? You got to give it to the kids.
I guess
That's
so. Like, maybe we can get these UFO alien guys to do the jobs.
That would be so American. It's like, we have discovered aliens and we have put them hard to work.
You know what makes a great worker? This is a Martian.
My man Glicklock is
Glicklock.
the hardest fry cook you will meet.
He's got 8 hands. He can handle the whole line. He can do it all.
His tentacles reaches to the cash register from the fry machine.
You only need one. You need to hire one person instead of 4 people. It's it's great for our economy. We welcome the aliens with open arms, and we're also they'll get their own bathrooms, and the transgender people can share the bathrooms with the aliens. Problem solved all the way across the board. My Trump is terrible. I apologize.
It would just be peak irony to, like, deport one class of aliens to, like, enslave a different alien.
I'm just noticing my Trump kind of sounds like an angry Jewish New Yorker at a deli.
So does he.
I guess so. I don't know. Please, no pastrami. It's just I just want the rye bread. And you just gotta, like, turn it down. I don't know. Sorry, Jewish people.
Great.
I'm not cutting this
They
part
have
out.
enough going on, okay?
I'm not cutting this part out. I love you, okay? I love Jewish people. I love Palestinian
All
people.
Jewish people?
No, you like the nice ones.
What does that mean?
I like the nice everybody. I don't
One of
like
the
the
good
mean,
ones?
I like them. I don't like the mean anybody.
Okay, you don't like anyone mean.
Yeah.
What if you're mean?
Well, I have a lot of self-hate. Yeah. This is like a real thing. Did you see that video? There was a TikTok video recently of some guy like was driving down the street. It was an old man, and this dude goes, "What are you, retired or something? You retired?" And the old man gets angry and he gets out of his car. And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You're driving like a retired person. You're doing all these kind of retired things. I just assumed you were retired. Are you retired or not?" And the man just looks like he wants to fight so hard, but it's just that inflection. That inflection on the word retired is crazy. I'm gonna start saying it. Honestly, I don't think it's too funny. You're gonna do a lot of crying in the next 4 years if you're not doing a lot of laughing. We lost. Like, I feel like when it comes down to it, we didn't just like lose an election. Like, I feel like we lost the actual fight. And we're gonna have to regroup as something else entirely because it's too broken at this point. Like, Democrats are too broken as a faction to repair themselves in the way that, we are going to give way to more liberal views and stuff in the same way that the conservatives have moved so much farther right.
Well, I mean, you can't combat a right-wing populist by just being the center pretty much center right is what the Democrats are. And being like, oh, why don't you get more status quo? Isn't that working out for you guys? And we're shouting, no, this isn't working for us. And they're like, you're stupid. It totally is. You got to vote for us. No, that messaging's not working.
No, it doesn't work at all.
Even how we use some of the messaging, like, you know, I agree that he is an authoritarian. He has fascist tendencies, Trump, of course. But using the word fascist and using the word Nazi makes people just like disengage and not take you seriously. And it's not fair and it's stupid, but that's just how it is. It's not a great look.
It's a weird thing because a lot of people afterwards were like, wow, I thought it was supposed to be really close. And everyone thought that Trump like blew Kamala out of the water, but we're talking about a 2%, like literally the polls were correct because they have the 3% margin of error and the results are actually within that 3%.
Yeah.
Like it was an incredibly close election this time. But you know, we don't focus on that.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's why the conservatives wanted to get out there day one to say like, he has this insane mandate, like from the people, and just sticking to that narrative the whole time. But that's not the case. The case is the same as it's always been when he's on the ballot. Half the country hates him. Maybe a third of the country loves him. And a third of the electorate is just, you know, doing their own. The remaining 2/3 are just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just see it through. I've seen some conservatives horrified at these cabinet positions and shocked that he won. And I mean, you voted for this. Like, what he told you exactly. He's not a sneaky, subtle person. Like, he told you exactly what he was gonna do. He's like, I'm out here for revenge. I'm gonna tear down the government. And then people still went into the voting booth and they're like, I don't know, how bad could it be?
Yeah. It's true. People didn't really realize a lot of what he was actually standing for. A lot of people, I think, voted for him on the Republican side that still felt like he was a traditional Republican, which honestly is more in line with the Democratic Party now. Like old school Republican ideals are more centrist. That's why you had Liz Cheney.
Well, I feel like,
Kamala.
you know, before Trump was involved in politics, before social media even, like Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, these have laid the groundwork for anyone that's identified as a Republican never, ever will vote for a Democrat. And that's what Kamala Harris doesn't understand by trotting out the freaking Cheneys to try to court their votes. It's like, these people have 30 years of hatred in them. Even if they do not support Trump, they're not voting for the Democrat. Ever.
Yeah.
You got to find new people. Going to the right isn't going to help you.
We're like Eminem in that 8 Mile movie. We're freestyling here. Yeah. The Onion. The Onion bought InfoWars. The Onion bought InfoWars.
So not just the Onion and the Sandy Hook families.
Oh my gosh.
Some karmic retribution. This is our happy hour time. Yeah. I mean, with Elon Musk backing, he's trying to like countersue them to like whatever. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, Alex Jones has really bad lawyers.
Yeah, he does.
They're really bad.
I mean, he was trying to pass off so much nonsense. For people who don't know, Alex Jones is J. Jonah Jameson from the last Spider-Man movie. You remember J. Jonah Jameson in the last Spider-Man movie? Was he responsible for Aunt May's death?
Not
or something.
No.
Not directly.
I mean, the Green Goblin. Listen, I don't know if we can spoil Spider-Man without like Disney coming after us.
Yes,
right?
we can.
Can we?
I mean, I'm willing to do it. Okay, fine. Don't spoil a movie that came out 3 years ago or whatever it was. Everybody in the world saw Spider-Man. What do you mean we can't spoil Spider-Man?
Should we put a spoiler warning?
It's in the freaking trailers or something. I don't know.
There's not a dead Marissa Tomei in the trailers.
Oh my gosh. Everybody knows Aunt May. Okay, forget it. Fine.
Everyone knows Uncle Ben dies. That's like a 60-year-old plot.
Uncle Ben dead.
Right.
Like, he was never,
he's so dead, they just glossed over it this time.
He wasn't even in any of the movies this time.
Right.
There was no Uncle Ben. We don't
need to see him die again.
I'm saying we don't even know that he actually is dead. He may pop
Spider-Man
up.
4?
Any of the Spider-Mans from this recent Marvel era. I'm saying I don't think we even know that Uncle Ben is dead. We know he's gone.
All right, you're hearing it here first. We're now gonna have to change the thumbnail since we're doing Marvel speculation. Spider-Man 4, Return of Uncle Ben, Kingpin Donald Trump, Daredevil. Boom. That's the movie.
I mean, that will be the movie.
Dude, that would be so sick.
You're gonna get a Return of Uncle Ben. You're gonna get Daredevil. You're gonna get Kingpin being the main bad guy.
Right.
To me that is the movie.
What if the Daredevil show is building up to that?
I totally could believe that. Because like the more power we give Kingpin in the Marvel universe. Did you see Echo?
No.
It was good. I mean, it was Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the freaking show.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What? Now you're just spoiling me.
You didn't want to watch it
I
anyway.
want to watch it.
Now you want to watch it.
Subtitles.
You ain't, whatever. Subtitle.
I'm trying to play my Switch. I can't always read. All right. I wasn't expecting Amelie. All right. I was expecting a Marvel show.
It's pretty decent. Like, especially if you've seen Daredevil. Like,
yeah, I've heard it's good.
It's a good spin-off.
I've read her books.
Kingpin is,
Oh, is he in it?
Yeah, he's the main guy from in it.
Stop spoiling this 2-year-old show for me.
Just watch him. I don't know what to tell you.
That Daredevil show is going to be awesome, though.
I hope so.
I hope it's in Spider-Man 4. Like, oh my god.
See what I mean? Like, sometimes we just don't want to talk politics.
I also don't want to talk about the Dune show because that was mid, and you don't care about Dune.
Oh yeah, it was mid though. What?
It was mid.
I give most shows like 3 episodes to find their bearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and watch it this week, but like it's hard because the movies are so pretty, and the show is like it looks good, but it's not that pretty, and it's not very well written.
How do you feel about the whole Arya Stark spin-off series?
Are they doing that?
Yeah, they're doing it for real.
Listen, I know I'm not the best person to say this because I have dated someone 3 separate times, but Game of Thrones is like coming back to an old ex, and I don't want to do it. I haven't seen House of the Dragon.
Amazing.
Whatever. I don't care about Dunk and Egg, and I've read those books. I can't do it. I was hurt so bad that I can't come back ever again.
It really wasn't that bad.
It was really bad.
It was a weak ending for one of the greatest television shows of all time, which is still a superior ending to so many other television shows.
It's not just like the last episode of Game of Thrones was bad. It was just getting... Like, it was bad for 2 years. It was bad for, like, 3 seasons.
Politics.
And just kept getting worse.
Game of Thrones. Politics, Game of Thrones.
Watch me get more upset about Game of Thrones than Donald Trump. I will do
I'm saying. I feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to lose my head over politics.
I want to lose my head over horrible storytelling.
Because
in a
I will
universe.
consistently be running around like a chicken with my head cut off with politics. Very specific. Like, if I let it get to me too much, I will just be angry and sad all the time. As the man, Game of Thrones made me very angry. Now that I've transitioned, I look back at Game of Thrones very fondly, and I say, like an ex, oh, I guess that part wasn't that bad.
So you're saying I should soy boy up and give the last season another shot?
Maybe. This is why
I don't want bold opinions I was not ready for.
I don't want anyone to take what I say as an actual fact. I say things purely out of humor and also because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not, Do
any of us? I mean,
some people think they do though, legitimately.
Just to briefly cross back into the news because I don't think I mentioned this. Like 40% of people get their news from social media. Only social media.
And that's why we have to talk about, Game of Thrones.
I mean, talk about something more topical.
Arya Stark spinoff. It
not...
just got announced this week.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because Dunk and Egg's coming out like this next year, I guess.
There's a couple,
right?
Yeah, there's a couple of Game of Thrones projects in the works. House of Dragon was fire. I'm just saying, but the Arya Stark project just got announced this week.
Where has she been since the show ended? Like the actor. I haven't seen her.
Training.
She's been in Bravos.
She's in Bravos
you have
training.
Sansa like everywhere.
Yeah, she really is.
And then other people pop up. Kit Harington's in Marvel, almost against his will. I guess.
Very little Kit Harington.
Rob Stark also in Marvel in that same movie, The Eternals, right? Where he's fake Superman.
I swear we're gonna have more centered podcast in the future where we actually stay
Don't
on
give up
topic.
Game of Thrones because I will never let this hatred die.